So for those that may not know, this is the Iron Dome in Israel. This is just one section. There's many of these missile, would you call them silos? I don't know. I don't know all that the proper terms. But they carry these missiles and they can be moved around. So they have many of these Iron Domes. Israel came up with this. They've never, they're not very secretive. Because they've been working with our military, which is what I'm getting to. Because Israel is the best. I don't care what I see. People, I see the anti-Semitic comments. You can see these people. I get that when the Bible talks about the fake Jews, look, they're in Washington. They are. They support things like transgenderism on children. But the true Israel, okay, the country, we are allies with, okay? They have been our greatest allies. Okay? That's just a known fact. Plus, their intelligence is unbelievable. Do they have a corrupt portion? I'm sure they do. Every country does. That's not what I want to focus on here. What I want to focus on is this in 5G. Okay? This is just an opinion of mine, but there's been so much nonsense I've seen the past few years about 5G, okay? So I'll get to that in a minute. So just so people understand, it's the Iron Dome. There's many of these silos all around. And they call it the Iron Dome. It's an Israeli mobile all-weather air defense system developed by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems and Israel Aerospace Industries. The system is designed to intercept and destroy short-range rockets and artillery fired from distances of 4 kilometers to 70 kilometers away and whose trajectory would take them to an Israeli populated area. So basically the way it works is radars detect the missiles incoming. And then the missiles automatically are released to stop the incoming missile so it doesn't hit any population areas. Okay? So that's the way it works. The reason it failed this time is because there was a barrage of weapons. Okay? And so I had also saw something like that they didn't have it up the way they normally do because of the holiday, because they just had the Shabbat, I forget what holiday, but regardless, it can't work if there's just a barrage of them. But this goes on every single day. We just don't hear about it. So they've used these for years. Israel came up with it, okay? And then we have helped fund it, and we helped supply the missiles. But apparently I don't think they got all their missiles recently. Isn't that a surprise? Because they've all been going to Ukraine. There's parts of the system they don't tell because they don't want the enemies, they don't want Iran to know because of obvious reasons, knowing how it works. So the reason I bring this up is because this has been very successful for them, and they've been working with our military like they always have. That's the relationship we've had with them. So this was in 2020, okay? Raytheon and Rafael to build Iron Dome in U.S. Okay, so we're a lot bigger than Israel. We would have to have excellent the radar capabilities, right? This is my opinion. I'm just saying this makes sense to me, given all of the things I've heard about the horrible 5G. Okay, I'm not okay. I think this makes more sense. So everyone for years has carried on, and they are ugly looking. I mean, if you look up and you see them they're all around the water towers, right? They're everywhere you look, you see them. And everybody said, oh, it's for this, it's for this. People have even said, oh, it's related to vaccines. Okay, yeah, well. So obviously a water tower where they're putting up the 5G panels, okay? If you need excellent radar to detect anything that could be incoming, incoming, you would need this. And it's interesting that they put they're often almost always on water towers. What would you want to protect the most? Besides the population would be people not taking your water supply out. Okay? This just makes sense to me. If I looked into, I can't find anything, but the military has been working to have the U.S. have an Iron Dome. This was in 2022. The Iron Dome intercepts targets, works with U.S. systems in Army test. So the Army and other parts of the military have been working to have this technology here. So it just makes sense to me that you would have to have the best upgraded 5G system for that kind of, I would think that you would have to use that. I could be wrong. Again, it's not, I'm just speculating on this. But there's many articles you can find where the U.S. military has been working with Israel so that we can have an Iron Dome here as well. Not that it matters since Joe Biden has the borders open, right? But I'm just saying, I think all of these 5Gs going up, I don't think it's all just for internet or just for your cell phone. They can be used in many different ways. That's a cactus, a 4G and 5G capable cactus in Scottsdale, Arizona area built by Valmont Industries. It just seems to me, given that the military's been working with Israel so we can have an Iron Dome as well, that we're a much bigger country. We would need to have the capabilities, radar from, the scale would be much larger. And this article says all this is to say you can't quite put 5G in a pretty box. The technology needs to be out in the open on main streets, residential roads, and frankly, everywhere. So that's them installing the cactus, okay? It can be in light post. I don't particularly like all of it either, okay? But I'm just saying where people have gone with this whole 5G thing is crazy, in my opinion, really. Because maybe it's as simple, because here's the thing, Trump supported 5G this much. There's there's several, I should say, in 2020 where he was talking about it. I hope the House Republicans will vote against the very weak National Defense Authorization Act, which I will veto, must include a termination of Section 230 for national security purposes, preserve our national monuments, and allow for 5G and troop reductions in foreign lands. Yeah, maybe that's part of it too. We can get out of foreign lands. But he wants because he was very strong in several posts about wanting 5G, even 6G. 2019, I want 5G and even 6G technology in the United States as soon as possible. It is far more powerful, faster, and smarter than the current standard. American companies must step up their efforts or get left behind. There is no reason that we should be lagging behind. So I think that this was to protect America. I think that's what all this other stuff people are saying is ridiculous, in my opinion. I think it was to have our own Iron Dome. So this is the Iron Dome in Israel, okay? And I'm gonna do a close up on this. So see, you need all of that, and they're a much smaller country than we are, like majorly smaller than us. So I think there's more of a rational reason for the 5G, and I don't think it just has to do with your cell phones. So we would also need many more of these, and it seems that Biden has wanted to send much of it to Ukraine, like he does everything. Our money, our capability, everything, right? Because, talk about selling the country out. So, yeah, that's just an opinion of mine, but given the military's been working on this with the Israeli the people that created the Iron Dome there, it only makes sense that's why Trump was so strongly for 5G.